These are the results of your urine and saliva testing. The main thing I noticed was your pH right here. Mm-hmm. Your urine is a little too alkaline, so your upper GI and your lower GI are not working well together. I would recommend some calciums that help lower your pH and bring things back into balance.
Oh, okay. I have a question. Can I have whatever she's having?
Who?
That girl.
Wendy, Topher, lots of love, nice show, music, movies, guest and awesome tunes. It's a show for me and you. It's the one you love to listen to, with words to help improve your life. Oh, helping folks, it's what they do. Oh, laughter's medicine too.
Live from downtown Fayetteville at FPTV, it's the Wendy Love Edge Show featuring Topher Kogen. Here's Topher.
Hello, yeah, start the laugh track and the clapter. You know what, I blame myself for that, Adrian. I know, Derek, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I touched my mic. I touched my mic. Can we just go from there? Is that fine? Is that hilarious? Can we just do that? Okay. You know, Adrian, I blame myself for being late. Your body's used to saying those words right at 4 and not at 4:08, so I apologize for that. If we're done giving you attention, I'm gonna move to camera 2. Is that okay?
Just today, Topher.
Okay. Hello, camera 2. How are you today?
We're fabulous.
Wonderful. Camera 3, are you good? There's no one over there, so don't talk.
Yeah, we're good.
But thank you, Ranaga, even though I wasn't talking to you. I'm kidding, no. But thank you guys for being here. So for those at home, Wendy has forced our lovely guest to be our live studio audience today. So they get to experience this with us. Anyway, so I got my green card recently. I'm super excited about that. My grandmother was kind of sad though, because she was like, why'd you have to get married to a Mexican guy just to get weed? She doesn't get it, but that's okay. No, I'm super excited. So we talked last week about how like stressful it was, you know, to get, you know, a green card, which I guess, are they called green cards? Should we rename them something else?
I think
just a medical card?
Yeah.
Medical card? Okay.
Sure.
I don't know. I feel like if I call it a medical card, I should have one of those like silver bracelets. Why don't they should pass out bracelets for this stuff, you know? Ooh, you know what they could do? Okay, have y'all seen those like those hippie bracelets that are supposed to have like mud and water in them, you know? Are they still popular? I don't know. Nobody's helping me. I have no idea.
Were they ever popular?
After Woodstock, right?
Again, I don't know. I don't know, but what they should do is, so I recently got into Rick Simpson's oil. Let me tell you something, that's a trip and a half. But they should put like each of the little balls, if you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, this bit is just lost to the world. But they should just put like little like different strains in each of like the balls around. I think that'd be a fun time. But anyway, PSA announcement. If you have access to Rick Simpson's oil, don't drive that day. It's not fun. I recently took some, Wendy was there, and she was like, oh, you'll love it. It'll be great. It'll be like best high ever. I was like, okay, great, cool. 3 hours go by and I'm like, I don't feel anything. Maybe I'm immune to it. So I was like, nah. I was gonna do nothing all day, but I'll do my errands. I'm gonna move to camera 2 now because I'm tired of looking at Adrian. So So I took it, and then 2 hours later, didn't feel anything, and then was in the middle of Springdale and just went to outer space. You know? I had to pull over. I called Wendy. I don't know why. She was also high at the time. So I was, can we say ass out on here or no? Can we not say that? I don't know. Just bleep that out, Flint. But I was ass out and just ridiculous. Okay, thank God I'm at 1 minute. I didn't do anything I wrote down today. What I was gonna talk about, Cats. Have we seen Cats yet? No one in the audience has seen Cats. Okay, next topic. I know, Cats is, oh God, it's so, yeah. Okay.
So 1990,
Is that when it came out? Was 1990?
at least.
I think I saw something, it's like the 4th longest running show on Broadway. I'm not for sure. Regrettably. I don't know. Maybe it's so bad it's good. I don't know. Oh, one thing though, I really have to spread this. This is my PSA. I'm going back to camera 2 now, Robyn. Don't be mad at me. So a lot of people don't know what Jellicle cats mean. Does anybody know what Jellicle cats mean or like what it comes from? Okay, so Andrew Lloyd Webber, right, who adapted it from T.S. Eliot plays. So Jellicle cats, I don't know the word, but it's like when you like mash up words. So it just stands for jolly little cats, and it's Jellicle cats. Isn't that weird? Yeah, I don't get that. And then he called dogs pollicle dogs, which doesn't mean they had smallpox. It just means they were like poor little dogs. I don't know. Don't see cats on high. Don't do that. I think I'm gonna just go talk to Wendy now. Is that fine? Have I served my time here? Okay, thank you.
Well, that was hilarious.
Yes, all
It
parts of
wasn't
it.
quite as funny when it happened, you know, the whole let's try a capsule thing.
It wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
No, because it was so funny because you were just sitting there like marveled at me
I
because
could
you were
not
like,
believe you weren't high.
"What's
It was
happening?"
Like, are you kidding me?
yeah, it just took a minute.
Yeah.
Oof. Maybe because I didn't eat anything.
It could be. That definitely affects it, how much you eat, how much water you've drank. It's really important to follow those rules. And I feel like I was remiss as your weed mom in not making sure. Oh, my
Like,
goodness.
oh no, I've sent him out into the world and he's lost.
Yes. So did you have a good week otherwise?
I did. I did have a good week. Like I said, my card came in. When that mail happened, I was so ecstatic. I was like, finally.
Yeah.
I'm
After
no
all
longer breaking the law.
After all that bureaucracy.
Yes,
Yes.
still mad about that.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
But it's good. It's all in the right place now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw a couple of really good movies.
Oh, you did?
Yes. So I saw Jumanji 2,
Okay.
which I hadn't seen Jumanji 1, but Awkwafina was in Jumanji 2. So I was like, oh, I really love her, so I'm going to go watch it. It was so funny.
It was funny? Really?
It was funny.
Because I didn't find Jumanji 1 to be funny at all.
Oh, did you just not like the humor, or you?
I think, so when I went to see it, I really didn't know what it was.
Uh-huh.
And then, you know, it is, you know, what it is. Not usually my style of movie, but I don't remember laughing. Maybe I did. It was a while ago.
Oh,
So, yeah.
okay.
So I don't know that I'll be into Jumanji 2, although if it's funny, I might be. We'll
Yes,
see.
it's very funny. Awkwafina portraying Danny DeVito
Oh.
is gold I did not know I needed.
I have to see that then. Okay.
She's
I gotcha.
amazing.
Yeah.
And then I also saw her other film called The Farewell, which is about a Chinese family that they're all coming together because the grandmother is sick, but nobody in the family wants to tell the grandmother that she is sick.
Oh.
So they're like just coming in for this like staged wedding. And so the whole movie is this like anticipation of like everybody except the person who is sick knows that they're sick.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, and so
Is it because they don't want her to get sicker? 'Cause
yeah.
I know I was with a Chinese woman for a long time, and there's a lot of cultural differences, and I could see the family saying, well, let's not create more of this. Let's not tell her,
Yeah, exactly.
And we'll just make sure we're taking care of her and nurturing her, but she doesn't really need to know,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, that's cool. I have to check that out too.
Yes.
I had an interesting week. I had to kind of re-enter the health system a little bit, and I don't enjoy that.
Yeah.
I feel like I was kind of went through so much back in 2011 and onward up until the point I weaned off all the drugs they had me on and went to natural medicine primarily. So it's always, a little bit stress-provoking, anxiety-provoking for me and for my family.
Yeah.
But things are looking okay so far. So sometimes they're really good at testing. So I think, using the system to get these tests done are good, and then you can make other decisions from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yesterday we interviewed Jamey McGaugh about his film Chronic, and I think we're going to show for our TV viewers and for our podcasting listeners, they can hear our interview with Jamey about his film, which is going to show at Walton Arts Center this Saturday, if you're in the Fayetteville area. And if not, he said that he will be making it available on his Facebook page after that showing, a couple of months after the film festival season is over, right? So here's Jamey McGaugh about his film Chronic. Well, this is an exciting little extra piece in episode 2 this season. We've got Jamey McGaugh here in the studio, returning. I think you were here in season 1 of the Wendy Love Edge Show, so it's really nice to see you again.
Good to see you.
And I'd love to remind our viewers and listeners about your film Chronic, which is going to be shown here in Fayetteville over the weekend.
That's right. It's
Yeah.
going to be part of the Arkansas Filmmakers Showcase, which is Saturday night at 8 o'clock at the Walton Arts Center. I think the tickets are available on their website. Essentially, the Fayetteville Film Festival chose 6 films that showed at the film festival back in October, and they partnered up with the Walton Arts Center and created a little showcase this weekend for several of the movies that showed last fall.
Well, congratulations on being chosen.
Thank you.
So let's remind people what Chronic is about.
Sure. So Chronic centers around a character. His name's Sparky Ledbetter. He is a former cop who has been diagnosed with terminal cancer. He lives at home with his daughter, who is also a police officer. He happens to live in a state that medical marijuana is not legal, so he relies on a neighbor kid to help him ease his pain. And so it's kind of a little slice of life, his morning routine that he goes through.
Right, and it is interesting. So by geography, people can have access to this medicine or not.
Right.
And that's kind of highlighted in the film. And then a police officer who may have arrested people for this very thing now is faced with probably a moral dilemma for himself.
Right. I always like to say an issue doesn't affect you until it affects you. So that's kind of one of the themes in this little short.
Right. Yeah, you seem to be able to relate to that, Topher.
Yeah, definitely. The idea of you don't realize how true your politics are until they're like at your front door, until like what is being like enforced truly affects you really.
Right.
So yeah. So it's interesting. I'm excited to see, all the complexities of that character specifically, and what you do with his journey through like breaking the law as a law enforcer.
Right. Bill Rogers, who plays Sparky, he's such a talented actor. He really takes you on a roller coaster ride. I mean, he's funny. You feel sorry for him. So he really covers the range of emotions in a very short period of time.
Nice. Which is probably true to life, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And receiving a diagnosis like that, and then the decisions that you have to make from there.
Right.
So I think this is important for people to see. I think it touches on so many different elements of the cannabis fight, and even just human frailty, illness, morality, it's got all of it in a short
Absolutely.
film.
Yeah.
So thank you for doing that.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see it. So let's remind everyone, if you are in Fayetteville, the date, time, where they can see it.
Sure. So if you're in Fayetteville, this Saturday night, 8 o'clock, Walton Arts Center. I believe it's going to be in Star Theater, or the films are going to be shown, and then you can get tickets online at the waltonartscenter.org.
Great. And if people are out of state and they're interested in the film, how can they?
So we're sort of wrapping up the run of this on the festival circuit. So probably in the next couple of months, I'll just post the film on the Chronic Short Film Facebook page.
Great.
So that everyone can see it.
Wonderful. Yeah, we have listeners and viewers all over the country, so we'll let people know. If you can let us know, we'll let everyone know when they can.
Absolutely, we'll do.
They can do that, and I look forward to seeing you on Saturday.
Thank you. Look forward to it. Well.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
Oh, that was great. He was on season 1, like we were saying, and it was great to have him back and see that he's really followed through with this film.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a couple of years now. And so it's exciting that it's being featured at the Walton Arts Center here this Saturday. And
Yeah, I'm super excited to see it.
and it's such an important topic, like he was saying. So check it out. And if you're not in the Fayetteville area, very soon you'll also be able to see it on social media. So, so I don't know. Did you have something else you want to add?
Oh no, this is just a inquisitive gesture.
Okay.
I was anticipating the wonderfulness of what you were about to say.
Oh, you were?
Yes.
Well, all right. I like it. So it's going to be a great show today.
Mm-hmm.
Super excited for all these wonderful guests. And you are tuned in to the Wendy Love Edge Show with Topher Kogen, where wellness, health, music, plant medicine, and art meet. On today's show, our guests are Jennifer Calvert, naturopathic doctor, spray-face street artist from the Green Heart Festival, and Jamey McGaugh. And our musical guest is Molly Adamson. So let's get started with episode 2 of season 3. Our health guest today is Jennifer Calvert, naturopathic doctor, and we will be discussing specialized kinesiology. Welcome back to the show, Dr. Calvert.
Thank you.
Good
Glad
to
to be back.
see you. I know, how many times is this? We were trying to
Well, I
remember.
think I was looking it up. It was my 4th time.
Your 4th
or no,
time?
I've been on 4 times. This is my 5th time.
This is your 5th time.
Yes.
Wow. All right. Well,
Yeah.
We need to get you like a plaque or something.
No, I don't need one of those.
well, it's always
Thank you.
informative and
Thank you, though.
interesting, so we're always happy to have you back.
I love being here. It's always fun.
So, specialized kinesiology, what is that?
Kinesiology has to do with the muscles. Specialized kinesiology works with energy. It's an offshoot of applied kinesiology. And the body, when you go to the hospital, like you were talking about, you had tests done. They looked at physical things. The physical things in our body are a manifestation of what's going on energetically also. Let's go back. Okay, so let's talk about history for a second.
Okay.
So I don't know if you remember in high school, we were taught the atomic, the atom was this 2D, has a nucleus, and has these electrons that orbit around them.
Right.
Right?
I remember that.
Okay.
Do you remember that?
Do you remember that? Okay. So Einstein came along after Newton and came up with E equals mc squared, which is energy equals matter times the speed of light squared. So that Einstein came up with that energy and matter are actually interchangeable. You can't have one without the other. And when you look at the actual atom, once they actually were able to look at it, they found there's nothing there. It's just energy. So Einstein was right. And it came up with this whole offshoot of quantum physics. Instead of Newtonian physics, you have quantum physics, which is based on the energy model. So energy, matter, matter, energy, they each play off of each other. You can't have a physical issue without having an energetic issue. So what kinesiology does is it goes in, releases the energetic blocks from either physical, emotional traumas, everyday life, and kinesiology goes in and opens up those pathways. It's like acupuncture. We use acupressure points. It's based off the Chinese model of the meridian system and how things flow through the body.
Okay, so the energy is kind of trapped in spaces in your body from different
Yes.
events, whether it's physical or emotional trauma or...
Just any trauma, any stress, emotions that you have will send out an electrical response through the body, and specific organs like, say, the liver. It's very, it matches the anger frequency. So they like to go together. Anger and unforgiveness are big liver disruptors. Have you ever heard of someone with a stress stomach or a nervous stomach?
Sure.
That's an example of a physical reaction from an energetic response. The person is stressed,
Right.
and their stomach is having a physical reaction.
Right.
Does that make sense?
It's kind of like, so I recently was in the hospital, you know, and I don't, I try and, you know, meditate and put myself in a good space. I get very anxious when I have to go. But I did notice, so like, different things they would say to me or how I was feeling, and I'm watching the monitors and my blood pressure going up, you know, and so it's in a very real time.
Yes. And so
You
that
can
is an
see
energetic
how that
response.
works.
Yes, that's an energy, a thought, an emotion that's causing a physical reaction in the body.
Right. I wanted to bring that up because I think some people may think this is kind of woo-woo.
Exactly.
You know,
Well, that's what I'm a nurse. I was a registered nurse.
Yeah.
Prior to becoming a naturopathic doctor, and I was a very hard sell for kinesiology. I was like, okay, I need to see science. I need to see studies. I need to see all the research. And once I saw that, I was like, and then I tried it, and I noticed the huge shifts in my own healing and all the things that, the differences that it made in my life. And then
So-
I wanted to share it with everyone else.
Sure. How great is that?
I know.
So you do this testing, and then there's treatment that goes after that?
Well, what we do is we remove the energetic block.
Okay.
So, and it's either with acupressure points. We also use, just energy.
Yep.
Just the laying on of hands,
Right.
the, light pressure. It's, it's
Right.
very non-invasive.
Nice.
And it's very powerful, just what that can do.
Right.
Yeah.
So, so you were going to do a little testing on Topher, I think.
Yes, so if you were to come into my office, we would spend anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half doing specific kinesiology things. But I just want to show you an example of a muscle that is not working, and we found one on Topher. And we'll discuss all this stuff about that one muscle, and I will balance it and get it working again.
Oh,
Do you want to do
nice.
that?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so when I tested you earlier, we tested a few muscles, and they were strong, but then I had you test the Anterior Serratus on your right side, and you had you couldn't hold it. So let's show that. Can you do that? So raise it right there. Okay, ready? Hold. Okay, so Topher, and let's just show them this one so they can see a working muscle. Right here, hold. Now see, that one's strong. I'm putting a lot more force than I am on that other. So that's a lung meridian. So the lung meridian corresponds with grief, sadness, and trauma can really affect the lungs, especially when it elicits a grief response. A lot of people have bronchitis soon after a death in the family or something like that. And that's typically because of the lung weakness after the grieving. So we're going to do some neural lymphatics for the Anterior Serratus. So what I'm going to have you do, I need you to find your first rib, second rib, and third rib right here. So second and third right here, here.
Okay.
And massage those with two fingers. There. Spread your fingers. There we go.
Okay,
Straddle the rib bone. There we go.
There we go.
And then
I went to college for bones.
Yes, you did. And I'm going to hit the neurolymphatic points on each side of the spine.
Getting this, Adrian?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be me that get to do the neurolymphatics, but
And so on his right side, I can feel his muscles on that side are much tighter than the other side. So
Should I be breathing a
yes, you need to be
way?
taking some deep breaths. Okay. All right. So let's look at this arm again.
Okay.
Raise it up. Okay. Hold.
Oh.
Do you feel that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
So this means my grief is also gone.
Yes. No, it does not. But what it is, we released the energetic block that was keeping that meridian. So the lung meridian on this side was blocked, and so it inhibited the healing of this right lung, or in the things on this right side.
Yeah.
So, and typically right side is your male side, so there could be a male correlation in there. It's either father, brother, uncle, you, 'cause, so.
Adrian,
Anyway. Yes, Adrian right there.
Dr. Adrian.
But anyway, that's just a demonstration of how energy, is manifested physically. So, and we just switched some things. We opened up some things. And those were neurolymphatic points.
Yeah.
So there was a
But say that's not enough. I would still need to.
Yes, that is just an example of how one little thing can bring energy back to that meridian. So if you came in, I do SIPS, which is a stress indicator point system. It's based on removing stresses that are like locked. Go ahead and sit down.
Thanks for joining me back here.
Glad to be back.
Yeah.
But yes, so I also do a couple other modalities. SIPS, which is stress indicator point system, which removes a lot of traumas. It deals with brain integration. A lot of kids that have trouble in school have problem getting the right brain talking to the left brain, or the front of the brain talking to the back of the brain.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And SIPS deals with that.
Yeah, my previous life, I was an occupational therapist.
Okay. Yes.
So I saw a lot of that, even in adults,
yes.
It just never was addressed in their life.
And it goes back to birth and basic reflexes that were not received when they were, came into this world.
Right.
So traumatic birth can have a huge effect on the energy flow in your body.
So I wanted to ask you a question about trauma, though, as that's definitely an interest area of mine. We've talked about it on the show with several different guests about the epidemic of trauma in the United States and really all around the world, and how it impacts health. And so creating new pathways so the person isn't kind of on that treadmill from the trauma that's using the same brain pathways over and over can make a huge difference in someone's life.
Huge.
So how does this apply to that?
Okay, so like you were talking about, you have a trauma and that becomes a block and energy tries to get through the body. You try to deal with it, but you keep dealing with it in the same ways. What kinesiology does, it opens that, it removes that block. The energy can go through. You start seeing other ways to deal with things and other ways. That's what I found from it, is that I didn't look at things the same after a balance. And I was just like, oh, well, there's new ways of doing this. It doesn't affect me. And when I thought about the incident or anything that had happened, because my car wreck that caused my disability was a huge emotional block for me. And it was shutting down my spleen. And getting that opened up, I could think about the incident and not have a physical reaction.
Right, and that is key.
That is key to healing.
Right.
Because you have to be able to, because it happened, it's a part of your story, but it doesn't have to cause a physical reaction in your story for the rest of your life.
Right, and what I've learned too is that the brain will keep seeking similar situations so you'll make new decisions, but if the pathway hasn't changed,
exactly,
you're just keep making those same types of decisions.
But you have that block, so you can't even make another decision, and it's not really your fault because you can't get through that.
Right.
So where kinesiology, I also do kinergetics and hologram. Hologram is it blows my mind because if you're familiar with holograms, if you take a hologram, you cut a little piece off, it contains the whole. It's another microscopic picture of the whole. So our bodies are holographic. We have information all throughout our body. Our muscles store it, and everything that's ever happened to us is a part of our whole. And you can't, this part of my knee right here has all the information.
Has a history.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Well, it has everything that's ever happened to me.
Right.
And it's just like our DNA. Our DNA is in every single cell. It's holographic. So it all contains part of the whole.
There's another topic for next time.
Yes.
So how can people get in touch with you?
You can find me on Facebook. You can also call me at 479-200-5211 and make an appointment.
Wonderful. And you do distance appointments as well, or?
I do surrogate. You can do surrogate testing with kinesiology, and do distance testing that way.
Excellent.
But
thanks so much for being here again.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back.
All right, great. Next up, the Green Zone. In the Green Zone today, we have some of the members of the newly formed street art group, Sprayetteville. They'll be creating street art for Fayetteville, Arkansas's 420 Festival, the Green Heart Festival. Please welcome to the show to Loudy Bousman, Ranaga Farbriarz, and Samuel Hale. Welcome to the show.
Hey.
Hey.
Nice to be here, Wendy.
It's nice to be here. We've been meeting at the Kava Bar. Yes.
And some great meetings.
Yes. And American Shaman is sponsoring really this whole festival, including the street art portion, which is amazing. So, so let's talk a little bit about why street art was added to the festival, what your thoughts are about how street art can convey some social issues like are coming up surrounding this festival.
Right, social.
Yeah.
Culture, all of it.
All of it.
Well, the street art was inspired by Vince Sanders, the CEO of American Shaman, who is a huge enthusiast of street art. He put on a festival in Kansas City, and we went up to see the festival there, which is where we met Chase and many of the other artists that we're going to have in our festival here. And the art was just amazing. It blew us away, and we thought, Fayetteville is ready for this. Fayetteville needs this.
Right.
We need to see, more art, public art in Fayetteville. So we just thought it was a perfect fit.
It'll just elevate Fayetteville for all of the right reasons.
Right. Well, so this festival, which was co-created by myself and Trisha Guting of Out of Hand Artist Collective, this is our second year, and it grew from this sort of smallish street festival where we shut down the street here in Fayetteville, and it was. We had, I don't know, we think maybe between 350 and 500 people came through that day. And we thought, this is amazing that people are so interested in kind of the marriage of wellness, plant medicine, health, art, music. So many people seem to really take to this idea, And so we thought, let's step it up a little bit and move it to town center. And then you two came back from Kansas City and said, we have to add street art to this, So what do you think about these themes kind of being all over the city, Chase? I know you're one of the artists that's going to be doing some of the creating.
But I don't know about everybody else's themes, but right now I can't help but paint a Native American theme. Seems to be stuck in it. I can't get enough of it. So I know what I'm going to paint. And that ties in with plant medicine, I guess.
Oh, absolutely. And health and wellness could be. Depends on what you decide to do.
Natural living, natural lifestyle.
Right.
Native medicine.
Native medicine, right.
Is it something, when you're creating the street art, is it something that comes in that moment, or you plan it out, or a little bit of both?
A little bit of both. We want to leave room for spontaneity, or at least I do.
Sure.
But the wall has a lot to do with it, shape.
Right. Yeah. So how's it going finding buildings around Fayetteville?
It's going good, Wendy. We have 10 artists.
Wow.
And we're super excited about that. Jason Jones, Octavio, Samuel Hale, Compost Pile, China Cat, Stacy Pants, Jessica Jones. I mean, everybody has been so responsive in getting this thing up and going, and it's been really great. And then we have Samuel Hale, 3 walls secure now?
I hope so.
Anyone in Fayetteville has a wall available.
The walls are the difficult part, to find, canvases for the artists, and find them in good locations where they'll be visible, where they'll also enhance the surroundings and just enhance the environment of Fayetteville in general.
Right.
So we are looking for donations of anyone interested that has a wall that's in a visible location. Contact us.
Absolutely. And, I was thinking, last year we were at Trailside Village, and there was quite a bit of graffiti there. I wouldn't really call it street art. And we decided we were going to, kind of cover some of that because of some of the work. It just didn't go with the theme of what we're doing, except there were, a few plant leaves, cannabis leaves that someone just drew, which people seem to be doing around the city. And so I kind of want people to know this is not what we're talking about. This is making more of a...
This is art.
This is art. We're making a statement.
Yeah.
Right.
Public art.
Some of it may be done with spray paint, but
sure,
it's still public art,
Yeah, and so I think understanding that this is an art form and that it fits in surely with the theme of what we're doing is really important. for our listeners and viewers, and also the people here in Fayetteville. We hope to take this festival really in a nationally, where in 420 people in a lot of places will be celebrating in this way. And I think this year is really going to show what we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the backing of the mayor's office and the city,
right.
I think was a bit inspiring to take it a little bit further into the community too, and that also inspired us to, bring in the street art, because then it takes it, outside of the trail side area or even outside of the town center area, and brings it to a wider group of people,
Absolutely.
to the whole city,
To the whole
really.
city, yeah.
So everyone can enjoy it.
Right.
Yeah.
Last year Mayor Jordan declared 420 Green Heart Day, and we met with him not too long ago, and he said he would be doing the same again. Of course, the big part of the festival is going to be on 419 this year at Town Center, but we also have events on 418 at American Shaman, and on 420 itself at Prairie Street Live. So,
Three full days of Green Heart.
Yes.
And maybe also a little bit more going on earlier in the week as the artists,
Right.
come into town. Well, they're all regional artists. We really have the cream of the crop of Northwest Arkansas and regional artists in
Yes.
street art. And they'll be, creating their murals anywhere from,
Right.
I guess,
They'll
a
be
day or
working the whole
two.
week
Some of them might be
prior
taking a
to the
week.
festival, yeah.
So there'll be activity going on, all week up to the 19th and on 420, where we're hoping we can do a kind of a live painting down at Prairie Street Live.
Right, on the last day.
On the
right?
last day, on 420, yeah.
That's exciting, too. I know, Topher, the Green Heart, everywhere.
I know. Green Heart and graffiti, well, street art, but yeah.
I know. Is the word graffiti kind of a slur, or is it okay to use?
I mean, it all has that history, and a lot of the big street artists have a graffiti history. I don't know. It's probably hard to sell it to the wall guy.
Yeah, right. We'd like to put some. We'd like to put some art on your wall. It sounds different.
More people should appreciate graffiti, actually, but
Right, that's true.
yeah.
But it has those connotations.
Yeah.
That,
Well, if you think about the railroad cars, the first time I saw a lot of graffiti, but what I started to see it as street art was on rolling stock, going through the Midwest. And if you go back into the history of the transition from street art, or from graffiti to street art, you see, Keith Haring, Banksy,
right.
and Shepard Fairey, and people like that have really elevated it to a place where it's recognized in the art world, to the point where people are tearing down walls of those artists and trying to sell them for hundreds of thousands of dollars. So it's really gone beyond graffiti to a new place, and
right.
it's really great.
Sometimes when you change the language a little bit, even though you're doing some of the same thing, people take it differently. Even the words. When we talk about, this is the green zone where we talk about, plant medicine and cannabis, and the words you choose for those too makes a difference as to how people will think and feel about it. But I am so excited and really happy that you all came in, and maybe closer to the festival we'll have more people back from Green Heart Festival.
So 10 installations in Fayetteville. That's going to be amazing.
That's amazing and so great for Fayetteville. And I know the name has been sort of a work in progress, but I kind of love Sprayetteville.
Yeah, it just kind of goes together.
Right.
My wife came up with that one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Kind of rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, I like that. I liked Spray Fay too. That was another one you were thinking about. But yeah, I think this one is even more powerful. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Definitely.
Thanks, Mel.
Yep, thanks, Mal.
So if people want to get involved with the Green Heart Festival, it's thegreenheartfestival.com. It's also on Facebook, Green Heart Festivals. And certainly, if you're interested in sponsoring the street art, you can reach right out to us. And
We need paint. We need walls. We need lifts.
You got to get real about it. This is what you need.
We need.
That's the list.
We'll bring the art.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah,
Thank you, Wendy.
Always a
Topher.
pleasure.
Always fun. Thanks, Topher.
Welcome.
Hi, my name is Johnny, and this is your bulldozer health tip. There are upwards of 2,000 varieties of plants that can be consumed by human beings on this beautiful planet, and we get only a small percentage of those. I'd like to share a couple with you of some of my favorites. This right here is called the pomegranate. A lot of people are familiar with that. It's rich in antioxidants. I like to slice it and then crack it open like such. Crack it open, rich in antioxidants. And you get these berries. Yum. So delicious. And then also right here I have the persimmon. The persimmon is similar to a tomato in look. You want to pick them you want to choose them in the supermarket based on their richness and their color. Slice them open and you get this nice sacred geometry in there. And they're very similar in texture to a mango. Delicious, but you try something new. There's your tip. Take back your health, America.
Our art and musical guest today is Molly Adamson. Molly is a solo acoustic artist who has been performing professionally since she was 15. Molly toured with Grateful Dead Experience, the Schwag, nationally for 2 years, and now she tours full-time as a singer and acoustic guitarist. Please welcome to the show, Molly.
I love that I've locked away, all the memories, all the rotten things, not forgotten but not where they're bothering me. When the sun comes up, I'll be chasing cotton candy strings, plastic diamond rings, all the things I lost when I couldn't be me. And I know I'm insecure, always finding distraction from the unknown and unsure, but it's been years and I'm still here. Sometimes dark and twisted places make the bigger picture bright, and that's alright. Now that I've got ghosts in my closet, I can't stay in one place longer than a day. Gotta go somewhere no one's yelling my name. Told me stories about things you said I would never see, I'd never be, but sometimes you just gotta up and leave. And I know I'm insecure, always finding a distraction from the unknown and unsure, but it's been years and I'm still here. Sometimes dark and twisted places make the bigger picture bright, and that's alright. Each time I run away, I find more of myself. Each time I hide my face, I lose more than I could ever tell. Each time I run away, I find more of myself. Each time I hide my face, I lose more than I could ever tell. And I know I'm insecure, always finding a distraction from the unknown and unsure, but it's been years and I'm still here. Sometimes dark and twisted places make the bigger picture bright, and that's alright. It's more than alright. I wrote that with my friend Maddie when I met her on the East Coast on one of my tours, and I met her maybe twice in person, and she ended up going across the country with me for like 2 months, and we just kind of wrote that like on a whim one day and never named it, just performed it. It's actually a duet, but it's one of my favorite songs that is mine. So.
Yeah. It sounds beautiful. I can only imagine how, like, much more beautiful, if that's good English, I don't know. It sounds as a duet, but it sounds like wonderful with just you. Okay. Ooh, so what would you call it?
You know, between songs, we're thinking of songs to sing, and we always say, "Tell the ones I love," which is like the first line of the song.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a very, like, innocent song, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of, like, innocence about it, and it's about becoming yourself. So I'd probably name it something to do with that. I'm so bad at that, naming songs. None of my songs have names. I should figure that out.
I like
I want to
that.
drop an album, and it's going to be, like, you know,
Yeah.
nothing. But
It's like a track list.
Yes.
I kind of like that. So it's kind of that innocent kind of like not off the cuff, you know what I mean? But just kind of like, it's just music.
Mhm.
Like, it's just like, just what it is. I like that. So I guess, how'd you get into music? Like, how'd you know that this is what you wanted to do?
Well, I took piano lessons starting when I was, like, 6 or something, and I really liked that. But I never saw myself as a singer until I accidentally entered a contest that I didn't know you had to sing during. So I, like, prepared this piano piece. I was set, and then they're like, "Sing it," and I'm like, "What?" So I ended up winning that contest, and then I wouldn't shut up. So that was when I was like 12, and I started opening for bands when I was 15. I started, playing my own shows when I was 16, and then I was touring regionally by 17, and then joined the Schwag, toured with them for 2 years nationally, and that taught me how to do my own tours nationally.
Mm-hmm. Nice. So where are you headed next? What's the next pin in your map?
Well, I'm trying to do an international tour soon. I think it's going to happen this year. But I've also got some stuff in store just in case that doesn't work out. Up in Chicago and Illinois area, I've been thinking of doing some stuff. And I've got some great opportunities here in Arkansas. So follow me for that.
Nice. So I won't ask you the name of the next song, but what is the feeling of the next song that we should get ready for?
This song I wrote about my ex-boyfriend. His name's not Alexander, but in this song, his name is Alexander because it fits better than his name. But it's about how feelings can change. Like, my emotions drive me. Everything I do is driven by my emotions, which is, like, not a stable way to be, but it is the way that I am. So it's talking about my emotional process with getting over him, I guess.
Alrighty, let's listen to a song not called Alexander.
Yeah. Oh, the leaves still turn green since I last saw you. I guess time doesn't care for my qualms. And I like to think time is forgiving, but the dust on my heart proves me wrong. Alexander Gold still haunts me, hold me through the storm. But it don't change a thing, I still wait for the spring to come. Alexander, I'm so sorry, thought you were the one. You're a place in my bed, you're a symbol of what I want. Oh, the winter always chills me to the bone. Guess it's easier with you around. But when all of the frostbite is gone, oh, will I just be all alone? Alexander Cold still haunts me, hold me through the storm. But it don't change a thing. I still wait for the spring to come. Alexander, I'm so sorry. Thought you were the one. You're a place in my bed. You're a symbol of what I want. Winter flurries stirred my soul, but it pinned me to the dusty floor. The sun broke through the painted walls. It breaks my heart. I don't know how to trust myself when seasons change. How I view every little thing. Alexander Gold still haunts me. Hold me through the storm, but it don't change a thing. I still wait for the spring to come. Alexander, I'm so sorry. Thought you were the one. You're a place in my bed. You're a symbol of what I want.
Molly, thank you so much. How beautiful was that?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so I met you actually at KPSQ radio station, and that was delightful. I think you were playing in the lobby with Mike Kinkle, just kind of playing some tunes. And of course, they air this show, so everyone there will get to hear that, isn't that their listenership? Where can people find your music?
Well, I want to come out with an album soon, but for now I make weekly videos on my YouTube channel. It's just under my name, Molly Adamson. You can find it from mollyadamson.com, my Facebook page, my Instagram. It's all under the same name. So.
Wow, weekly videos.
I just started that, so hopefully I keep it up. But,
It's ambitious, but I like it. We'll be able to check in with you each week and see what's going on. Thanks so much for being here. What a great show it's been.
It has been amazing.
I know.
Episode 2, still off to a great start.
I know. Can you believe it? So in season 3 already, and some of our guests have been on, that we're on today, have been on several
I know, multiple
times.
We have a 5-timer on.
A 5-timer. I know. And getting ready for the Green Heart Festival is always fun.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been really great. And we wouldn't be here, of course, without our sponsors, so we should probably mention them.
Yes.
Yes. Caris Healthcare,
CBD American Shama Kava Bar and Yoga,
NWA Natural Living,
Purely Natural CBD,
Mary Will Nourish,
Lit Smoking Supplies,
and we also have donations from Carmien Tea, which everyone has been enjoying because tea can change the world.
Yes.
We'll catch you next time. He's been Topher.
And she's been Wendy.
Bye.
Bye.
Wendy, Topher, lots of love, live show, music, movies, guest and awesome tunes. It's a show